So this is going live. Hopefully, we should be streaming live. Man, I hate the yeah. I'm even tired of saying the same thing all the time. Shuru mein. Guys, if I'm streaming live, can somebody please stay on the chat that if I'm streaming live or not? Please tell me I am streaming live because otherwise this is just me talking to myself, which will be very counterproductive. Am I streaming live, guys? Please tell me. Is this live? Oh, yes, this is live. Why was nobody telling me? Yes, everybody's telling me now. All right. Hello, everybody. Hi. Hi. Hi, Sanket Joshi. Hi, Risha. That's the wife. And Sanket Joshi is saying streaming. Thanks a lot. Now I know I am streaming. Thank you, Akshay. Thank you, Rohan Patil. As you can see, there's a mic and there's no hanky also over here. Dev saying hi Ganguly Bhaiya. Okay, wow, nice. Hi Ganguly Bhaiya. I think that's got a nice ring to it. So, hello and welcome to yet another episode of On the Bench, this podcast that me and my co-host, actually I should be saying the co-host names for first, Anu Menon and I do together, my wonderful co-host, and missing the hanky. Yes, actually, thanks a lot, Dev, for pointing out. Actually, you know what? It was very funny. But I think I should be talking about that once Anu is back. So, hello to everybody. Just more people. I hope you guys join in. There are some 28 viewers. Please, जो भी 28 viewers है, ऐसे मस्त ऐसे like ठोक दो, so that at least 28 likes तो आने चाहिए ना stream पे. Neville नाम है last time बहुत ही every time Neville comes, we talk sport as well as there's a heavy coaching session about how to be good marketers and good advertising people. Neville is bloody fab at marketing and advertising and all this. Jiban saying such a professional streamer started exactly from schedule time. Yes, man. Now we are talking some compliments. That's amazing. I don't know why I said compliments like with South Indian accent, but yes, some compliments is always nice. So thanks a lot, Jiban. And yes, welcome all of you. And with that, I guess I will just get on my co-partner and co-host of the show. Let's have a must as a Anu Menon OP. Let's do a Anu Menon OP, guys. Let's do Anu Menon. Okay, I just did a Anu Menon OP. Yes, Anu Menon is here.
Hello, Ganguly. Hello.
Hello, what is up? Hi, Anu. How are you doing?
I hope my voice is crystal clear, Abijit Ganguly.
Wow, but guys, I think if I think by the way, this is a landmark situation for our podcast. I think our voices, our sound is finally clear right now. Please tell us if it is clear because we have really been trying to. It took us three or four episodes, but we finally have the sound and recording thing nailed. So please tell me,
I would just like to tell you that I have gone back in time and I'm using a Sony Vaio laptop. It's so old, Sony has stopped making laptops. And I am using that for today's podcast. Just so that, okay. Abhijit, I can use your mic.
Yes.
If this doesn't say commitment, I don't know what does.
By the way, I got a comment around the fact that I don't have a hanky today. Which I incidentally realized that I thought that ये जो था ये white this black whatever thing that covers the mic का top part, I think it was just for style. I really thought it was pointless. तो मेरे को जब आया था तो मैंने मस्त ऐसे ऐसे फेंक दिया था अपने घर में कहीं. So and when I had gone to Delhi and I could not find this at all. So I finally realized with Neville coming on and saying that नहीं ये important part है. So yeah, I'm learning everything. Sounds perfect. Hitesh Sehgal has said sounds perfect. I'm literally feeling like crying right now, man. This is so much.
I'm as emotional as when I gave birth to my son. Oh my God.
We have been dying. These words mean so much to us. Like, I mean, come on, man. People don't compliment enough. And Manan Jain is also saying hallelujah finally. To the sound is finally good. Oh man, this has been a lot of effort in getting the sound right?
Really, I swear. Okay, but what a sporting week it's been, Abhijit.
Yes, what a pretty intense sporting week it has been. Wow! Wait! Sorry for I have to take this comment. Hitesh Sehgal is Abhijit. Are you watching US Open crazy games last night? Somebody has finally said something about squash. I don't know. I think I will be on the verge of crying. First, people give acceptance to the mic, and then people are talking about squash. Yes, Hitesh. Crazy games in squash. Anu, please don't give me that disappointed look.
I think Hitesh has just said this to make you feel happy. I don't really think Hitesh cares either.
No man, the games are really intense. Okay, we'll get to squash, Hitesh. We'll get to squash, but first let's build a base. Devdeep is also saying amazing start. You guys look forward, and thanks for the super chat. Thanks a lot, Devdeep. And Nikhil is just saying 40 years. But yes, Anu, you were saying, sorry for interrupting, because I just got very excited and emotional the moment somebody started talking about squash.
No,
Yeah.
no, you must. If you want, we can talk about squash first. Whatever makes you happy makes me happy, Ganguly.
What makes us both happy is good mics, and we have finally got to a good mic situation, good sound recording. Man, it's funny how emotional we are getting at it. But yeah, Anu, pretty interesting sporting week. What do you want to start about? Do you want to start talking about with the under 17 World Cup, or what?
No, I
The
want to actually tell you that I'm very happy that we are through to the finals of. Do you watch the women's match today against Thailand?
No, I did not
Firstly,
watch the.
big
I was
kudos
semi-finals.
to
Yeah, I mean,
Thailand.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think it's amazing, Hannah, to reach the semi-final having beaten Pakistan. I mean, they
hmm,
won three games. Poor Bangladesh won like two, I think, of their five or something like that. Then they were going to make it, but then because of a rain situation, they got only 1 point. So I just think it's amazing to see a Southeast Asian country, first of all, play cricket. And the
yeah,
captain at the end was so sweet. She's like, if we get to play teams like India who are so good, we can only improve. And this is such a huge opportunity. But yeah, it was just really, and I love Shifali Verma. Like, I love watching Shifali Verma just go for it, like when she's in
yeah.
full flow and really aggressive. And there was this great story where WV Raman told her, you must watch Vivian Richards, your style of playing. And she said, who is Vivian Richards?
Wow,
I was like,
wow.
what did WV Raman say? Masaba ka pitaji.
Wow. Who's Zivin Richards is as badass as it gets.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is
Yeah.
actually a lot of fun to see these. I don't know if that's the right word. Associate nations, if that's the right word
Yeah.
for these that they, the way they play and the kind of stories that they. I don't think we have talked about it, but even in the Asia Cup in India, the Asia Cup in which the men's team was playing, Hong Kong. If you hear the stories of the Hong Kong
Yeah.
players, like four of the people were delivery boy executives. Like two or three of them had been touring for like 1.5 years, and they had children during that time. But they had not just met their kids. It's almost like you're in merchant navy
Wow.
or something like that. And
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and it's those are really like heartening, intense stories. And yeah, so it's pretty intense. Yeah,
But I must tell you one cute thing that Jemima Rodriguez said. She said,
yeah,
my coach told me that when you're going through a real purple patch and you're in great batting form, you have to make the most of it and go for it. Go like the whole hog with it so that when you get to the lean patch, it doesn't matter because you have overcompensated with all the runs you've made.
yeah.
So I
That's
thought
so
that was a really nice way of looking at it, Hannah.
That's a nice way. But Anu, do you think maybe because when Jamie will be joining us, and Jamie will also have pretty heavy opinions about cricket. So
Yes.
maybe because
We'll
these
talk
are
about
really
squash
nice
first.
stories. Let's just talk about squash first, and because we have another interesting super chat and going. First of all, Hitesh, thanks for the super chat, and I really need to cover this for later. Anu, I've been watching squash for quite a while. Wow, that's amazing. Woot pe hi aata hai, I guess, or unless you have the PSA Squash TV ka membership. Minor Flex have met Nick Matthews. That's amazing. James Wilstrop, दीपिका पालिकल, सौरव घोषाल एंड रमित टंडन बाय द वे रमित टंडन को मैंने अभी रिसेंटली देखना स्टार्ट किया एंड रमित टंडन आई रियली लाइक his backhand is I know you won't care much Anu, but like one of the
No, no,
biggest
you
squash
must. I
faces.
always like to know about sports. Huh.
One of the biggest squash names is Rami Ashar, who did not win
Okay.
much as a lot of other players, but it's just style of playing. Again, Egyptian, of course. His style of playing was like he was a wizard. And Ramit Tandon's backhand, he has this whole Upar ka backhand which just reminds so much of Rami Ashar. And I this is the first time, like I think US Open, he's the first time I've seen Ramit Tandon also playing, and he's also a great player. Saurav Ghoshal ko to obviously काफी time से we guys have been saying. So yeah, squash, a lot of intense action going on in squash.
I'm going to ask
Anu,
you a very dumb question. Does
no, no,
anyone
please.
have a double-handed backhand in squash? Or it's
No,
always
no,
only
you
single-handed?
can't have a double hand backhand.
You
You can't
can't.
have a double.
You
You
can't.
can't. You can't.
Yeah.
It's. I
Okay.
mean, it's
Okay.
like squash is too much of movement of a sport for you to even. You can't afford to have a double-handed backhand. Like that's
Okay.
like double-handed backhand in squash would be like a मतलब club level पे भी नहीं. like base मतलब मैं भी नहीं करता हूँ double handed backhand यार मतलब like it's a very rookie level पे like if you're doing a double handed backhand it's then you're just
Hitesh, did you
doing
notice that was also a minor flex on Abhijit's part?
नो मैं भी नहीं तो वो है क्योंकि मैं इतना बेकार हूँ
Yeah.
बट फिर भी मैं भी नहीं कर रहा हूँ यार डबल हैंडेड बैकहैंड यू कांट मैन एंड so it's just that again Amit Seti, love your comedy, thanks a lot, and love your first squash. I'm a avid squash player, real sport unlike standing games like dart throwing, bowling and cricket. Wow, that dig at cricket. I mean dart throwing and bowling ke sath cricket
Yeah.
we like that was
Yeah.
a little but
It's never been in the same grouping before.
dart throwing, bowling, and cricket, man. Wow, imagine if Viv Richards heard that.
It's like once I was in a nominated in a best talk show category along with Rajdeep Sardesai and Barka Dutt.
Seriously?
This reminds
Seriously?
me of that, and I won.
You won.
So the
really happened.
Indian Television Academy Awards. I burst out laughing. It was hysterical. So this grouping reminded me of that: bowling, dart throwing, and cricket.
Yeah, that's amazing. This is Lola Kutti only. You won with that
Yeah.
only. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Barka Dutt and Rajdeep Sardesai. So this I must have cried for like ages after that. But anyway, on that note, we have our guest is also on. So I mean, on that note, I don't think it's the best thing after saying cry, but I mean, just on a positive note, yeah. Okay, wow. There's some nice compliments already. Ganguly looking like boiled Salman Khan. Sorry guys, I had a haircut and just shaved. But first, let's welcome our guest on. While I remove this. While I remove this comment, let's start having a Jamie Alter OP OP. I just saying because of his though. So Jamie Alter OP एकदम हो जाए एक बार chat पे, and let's have Jamie Alter in the house. Yay!
Lovely to be here. Thank you, Abijit, for the first time, and Anuji, good to see you. I mean,
Hi.
big fan.
Lovely to
Very
see
nice
you.
to finally be. Thank you.
What is this name that you have, Joms Uttar or?
So this is a continuation from when I was on Saurabh's show a couple of days ago. My
Okay.
name is like literally, yeah, it's the easiest name to say. It's 2 syllables. J, me. But bachpan se Jimmy, Germany, Jamesh, Jooms. So I'm like, let's have some fun with it. Let's just go with it. So log kuch bhi kahenge, kya farak padta hai? So that's what I've gone with. The Jooms utter story is I once received a package at office and it said Jooms utter. And that for me is an all-time high and an all-time low, because how do you butcher a name like Jamie Alter? But it became Jooms utter. And when I'm in Bombay, I get called Jamesh so often. I said, chalo, let's have some fun with it. So that's the story behind the name.
Oh man, I certainly don't feel bad about my name because I always keep whining about the fact that मेरे name में लोग spelling error करते रहते हैं. People add an H, which although to be honest there should have been an H in Abhijit, but this is like yeah, Jamie को Joom Suttar. I genuinely feel like this is a whole different league of problem. So मतलब
मैंने
this is
जानबूझ
quite,
के किया
Like
ये.
as Anuradha Menon, I've got Anus Raider Melon.
you really have
Yeah. But just tell me something.
Anus
Why are
Raider,
you wearing a
like,
black
how
cap?
did-
Black cap.
Please, sorry for you can't just move on after saying anus raider. We have to address it.
I
and
thought
we
that was
have
a great segue.
but what was the spelling, please? Anus
No, they just used
raider.
to make fun of it. Anus Raider, Anuradha, because I studied drama in London. So then they just used to make fun of this. So Anus Raider Melon. Or
Okay,
someone
nice.
thought it would be cute too. You think you can shorten Anu, but I've been called Uns.
I think that's a typical requirement to end thing with S. So, matlab wo like I mean
Yeah.
I do that with Nidhi also. Nids I do that, but I don't know like Anu is already pretty short to be doing uns to it. Actually,
Yeah,
uns
and
is tougher
especially
to
if you want to say Anu's like book has arrived, if you don't put the apostrophe, it is problematic, as has happened many times in the past.
But
that's a very-
yeah, go on.
I'm
Jamie.
saying, very valid question. This is the third live I've gone on with this hat. Now, it's a very, very good question you've raised. Why I wear this hat is I used to wear the Black Caps jersey just to throw people off. क्योंकि अगर podcast है और क्रिकेट के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं और एक गोरा है तो ये जरूर कीवी होगा. So I used to wear the jersey and I actually own 3 New Zealand jerseys which I've gone and bought there on my various tours there. just to F with people, I used to wear this. But it got a little stale. So recently I bought this hat. You are the first person to actually even notice it. Hamare Bharatiya fans, they don't even notice. And I go in there fully assuming that you are talking about India's chances at World Cup and you are wearing black cap. Koi nahi puchta. So I'm very glad you asked the question. That's the story behind it.
You know what you should do? I mean, with the Kiwi cap, I guess, but नीचे से James Uttar लिखा हुआ है. You should probably just one day wear the cap and just say Kane Williamson and see if somebody even spots. People actually take it. Oh wow, Kane is on this stream, man. It's amazing. It's brilliant.
It's happened so often. आप वही हो क्या? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, JB actually, I mean, gets a lot of these questions of, like, Are, your Hindi is so good and everything. But Jamie, by the way, I also want to just take this opportunity in saying that, you guys, the Fake It India channel that you have, that you're a, major part of that you guys do. I really love its work. I think it's pretty much one of the best satires on YouTube, hands down. I think, I mean, in my view, it deserves a lot more cred than it gets. Neeraj, obviously, writing is also super as always, and you आपका जिगर का छल्ला and all that is right now मेरे दिमाग में सब घुस गया है. I've seen so much of it, so really love your work on that also, and I hope that channel also grows a lot because it's really fabulous stuff. So people on the chat, please check out that channel and really support it wholeheartedly. It's amazing.
Especially people from New Zealand. I mean, if you don't watch something with Kane in it, what's the point?
Come on, guys, pick up. Oh, वहाँ पे लोग कितने हैं? लोखंड वाला में ज़्यादा लोग हैं. But I mean, look. Thank you, Abijit. I take no credit for it. It's been 7 seasons. I keep on saying I just put a tie, a shirt, on a jacket on. I rock up. I get the script. It's actually the writing. You guys know how important writing is. The acting comes far, far behind. So, but thank you. We've got a lot of love on that channel, and I don't know why we don't have 1 million subscribers yet, man. After 7 seasons, it is gobsmacking. But taking it.
Even we feel that way about our sports podcast, man. But Amit Sethi has a question. Jamie, do people just lose their mind if you start cursing in Hindi?
Amit Sethi, another good question. I can tell you it's probably 70-30 in favor of being shocked. But as you get older, I've actually realized that gali kisi ko gali dena itna aasan nahi hai, because people are far less tolerant now. There was a time in the 90s when I could have said something, and by the time they realized that एक गोरे ने हमें गाली दिया, I was like on the bus and I was safe. अभी क्या है, इतना स्पीड नहीं है. So if they are not shocked, वो तो उल्टा, खासकर दिल्ली में उल्टा एक मार सकते हैं. So I try to keep the galis at a real low nowadays. But yeah.
So guys, but just for Amit, we will do because Neville taught us all this. Neville Shah was on our stream last time, and he's a marketing advertising genius, so he has taught us. So guys, we are on 61 likes right now, which is very less. There should be at least 100 likes, so we are keeping a target. If there are 100 likes, Jamie here would give a Hindi abuse cuss word to me. So to hear Jamie say that, please, let's have 100 likes. See, this is the level we are having
the things that we're reduced to for likes.
Things we are reduced to. Sports podcast पे गाली सुनने के लिए थोड़ा सा वो करना पड़ रहा है. Yeah, man. Life.
Come for the sports, stay for the galis. Huh?
stay for gali, bhai. But that really in India's I remember like when we were doing even comedy, like in the beginning years, there was some guy, and like he was like a proper gora, like some Australian dude or something. He just came for the opener and he starts saying Pidget, and people are losing their mind, just laughing and all. I'm like, अरे but इसने joke तो किया ही नहीं कुछ. Mike पे आया कुछ joke ही नहीं किया इसने. So yeah, people they love to hear cuss words from others. So I guess I don't know.
But I'm saying, like, I'm someone who came through the boarding school system as well as the international school system. किसी भी देश का पहला हम गाली सीखते ना.
गाली सीखते हैं.
The first Bengali word I learned was a gali. So we have a natural tendency to pick up, just to like, "Arey, pata hai tere ko."
I have to ask at this point, which word was this, Jamie? Please.
I'm not even gonna say it on your show, but yeah, take it.
But 100 likes. If we get 150 likes,
I was in grade 5, so I probably butchered the pronunciation. But the loose translation was, "Hum tumhara wo kaat ke कौवा को खिलाएंगे.
Oh wow! I was going for a Boca
Good.
wala only. This is a different league
नहीं, नहीं.
altogether, brother.
And I can tell you where I also
This is
was
a
when I was
Gali proverb.
And
Yeah.
बिल्कुल, it's poetic as the bongs often do. They make things थोड़ा ज़्यादा poetic. It
Yeah.
actually translated to हम तुम्हारा वो काट के कौवा को खिलाएंगे. I said, वाह यार, 5 शब्द का गाली, बहुत हाई-फाई है ये.
Okay. So Rohan Patel is not happy with our less aspirations. He's saying keep it at 200 likes at least. Okay, fine. 200 likes pe Jamie will give me Bengali gali and 100 likes pe Hindi gali. Okay, let's now. I think it's about time we stick to the fact that we just
Yes.
remember that this is a sports podcast. I mean, we talked a little about squash and that there's a US Open, but Jamie, if right now you're giving me the look of who the fuck talks about squash, it's absolutely fine. Every single person always gives me this look. So we have. I mean, there's a US, but I just love squash as a sport because it's such an intensive sport, and I just feel that it just does not get the recognition it deserves. It's like the athletes who play squash are one of the best athletes in the world. Like, and the stamina, their endurance, the things they have to do. It's crazy. I sent some videos to Anu, for squash. Like I remember I had said, Anu, do you remember the video that I had sent to you of Nuran
Yes,
Gohar?
of a
Yes.
woman who had anger issues and who took her squash racket and broke it on her leg before hugging her opponent and saying, "Well played."
Yeah, I mean, this is and if you want, I can even show it to you, Jamie. I
I
would
want
love
to
to
see
hear your
this.
opinion. Yeah, I would love to hear your opinion about this. Just give me a second. I will try to first.
And you might just give a gali just watching it, like willingly. It may just escape your black cap system.
Let me just do this. Present, share screen, and sharing screen is easiest. Okay, share screen. Just the Chrome tab. So this is the one I'll share. Okay, guys. Everybody can see this thing. And I'll just show it. You guys are able to see it right now,
Yeah.
guys?
Should pop up. Yes,
I
yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. Fine. So just to give context, this is the person in black is Noor Al Tayeb, and she has just had a baby like I think a year and a half back, and she because of that she like retired from the sport, and after that she has joined back again recently. And the person on the right is Amanda Sobi, who's US's #1 player. So just. There'll be a replay in slow mo.
I want to see, yeah.
Like whack it till you crack it and then hug it out.
Exactly. And to do both things with anger and then cut to, oh, the cameras are on me. Very slickly, very suavely, well played. But the anger and that was so
Yeah.
powerful. And that poor racket, yeah. Racket ki galti kuch nahi hai, yaar. But I mean, look, it is such an aggressive and competitive sport. I've watched very little, Abijit, but
Yeah.
mere ghar ke niche, like literally 200 meters away, there's a squash court. और 11 साल से मैं उसको देख रहा हूँ. हाँ, एक दिन अपन जाएगा उधर. I've still not gone there, but from what I've seen, it's a very intense sport. And I mean, what she did there, I get where the anger came from. But यार, racket बेचारा यार, क्या गलती है racket की?
The best part was Anu Anu sent me a voice note. Anu sends the most hilarious voice notes. I listen to them and I just keep laughing. And Anu's like, but the floor is right there. Why would she not break it on the floor on her leg? Like that does not make any sense. Yeah, Anu?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Anyway, it's very this non-Gandhian approach. I don't say much about Abhijit. Huh.
Yeah, but so anyway, these guys they played again yesterday also. Amanda Shobi had won this game, their last thing, and they played again yesterday also. And
Who won?
And this time Noor Al Tayeb won. Yes, she's incidentally she's the wife of the top squash player right now, Ali Farag, who's the best in men's section, the squash player. So both husband and wife are really intense players, and Nurul Tayeb won, and I really like supporting Nurul Tayeb because obviously it's a great story. I mean, after pregnancy, she's coming back and again trying to rise up the ranks and everything. So it's really women's squash is just a beast on its own, I think. But with that, I think let's get over squash because otherwise you guys will also keep looking angrily at me that ये कुछ अपना ही बोलता रहता है क्या.
No, I have
But
never seen you shine. Like you're luminous right now when
Yeah.
you speak of squash, Abhijit.
that's because of there's a tripod light. There's a TikTok light over there. That's mostly the TikTok light. That's not because of squash. I will stay like this. It's because I've just shaved and haircut also, no. So I'm like a chill out
Nice
warm
haircut,
right
yeah.
now. Yeah. So let's move on to now. Let's go for cricket first. And I think Anu was talking about Asia Cup. The T20 matches that are going on, in which India has qualified for the finals after beating Thailand, and you were definitely and I think
And
दूसरा
Sri
semi-final
Lanka
भी हो
beat
गया ना?
Pakistan also by one
Yeah.
run, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, by one run they beat Pakistan.
Oh,
So
that
unfortunately, the
too.
India-Pakistan final is not happening. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, but Pakistan got beat by Thailand also, right?
By
And the
Thailand,
very
yes.
next day they beat us. So I think that's what T20 brings. That it's open game as far as the three formats go. I think it's fantastic. Literally, the very next day after losing to Thailand, in Pakistan beat India. So great, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I'm just so
it was-
excited that a Southeast Asian country is playing cricket. So I think that is like huge when you have no history of a sport, and so literally you're building it, grassroots up. I think it's phenomenal. But did you also read that there's going to be a women's IPL March 2023,
Yes,
and
Yeah,
it's going
yes,
to be a maximum of 5 overseas players. So yeah,
yes.
good news all around. I think they've been like really fighting for this for a while.
Big
yeah, and
news, and exactly, very, very overdue news. I can say it. I mean, I won't take names, but off the record, I've been told enough times. It's not a matter of infrastructure. India and BCCI can afford anything. They just do not want to, because it comes down to the commercial aspect. And this is what has been a roadblock for the last 3-4 years. So I'm very, very glad it's happening. Just to pick up on what you said on these South Asian teams, sometimes it's very easy to become a skeptic. You see these non-traditional countries playing cricket, and you want to see कि 11 में से how many Indians, how many Pakistanis, how many Sri Lankans are there. In the Thailand team, it's actual homegrown talent, so it's a big
Yeah.
thing. I think that for me is the biggest takeaway. There's no Kumars, there's no Shivastav. I mean, jo bhi hai, it's actual homegrown talent, and I mean, fantastic. Yes, the coaches are Indian, more or less, but the players are predominantly from Thailand. So great thing.
And to be honest, the more
ju-
cricket spreads in these associate nations, I don't know if that's the right word also to call it, or the more cricket spreads to that country. I mean, it's good for sports generally also. I mean, because of these coaching opportunities and everything. So a lot of these Indian ex-cricketers also get these these opportunities. So it's definitely good for the sport, good for everybody. Yeah, no, you were saying.
But Jamie, you were talking about roadblocks in terms of a women's IPL. If we're saying we're flush with funds and you will get sponsorship, what are we saying? We're saying was the excuse that from a marketability point of view, or from an optics point of view, or you don't from a player pool point of view, or is it a combination of all three in terms of roadblocks? Like what would be the hesitation?
It's a combination of I think the first two, not so much the talent. I think there's enough talent now. Unfortunately, Anu, and you would have seen this, I mean, you know this, when Indian women's team does well, it's largely at a global ICC event. They could win n number of bilateral series. We, the media, and I'm fully part of this situation, they only get hyped up when they actually make it to a final, which is why 2017 One Day World Cup, when Harmanpreet got that 170 odd to beat Australia, that was a pivotal moment. That was as big as Kapil Dev getting 175 not out in a non-televised
Zimbabwe.
match in 1983 against Zimbabwe, right? Had that match not happened, Indian cricket indirectly, and this is just my view, would not be where it is, because literally 4 years later, the One Day World Cup, which for 3 years had been hosted in snooty stiff upper lip England, had now moved to dusty Asia. ये क्या हो गया? Who was the sponsor? Reliance, one of the first
Yeah.
Indian major companies. So the same thing. Harman gets that 170 odd. India makes the final, lose by a very small margin. Channels are reaching the players' houses. Channels are speaking to the parents, the coaches. I'm saying this should be done on a regular basis. So unfortunately, when it comes to women's cricket in India, जब तक कुछ करते नहीं है, the momentum does not reach their doorsteps. Now, what I meant earlier was BCCI can afford anything. It's the richest board, but the host broadcasters know it does not look good when you're showing a match where there's 200 people in a stadium which seats 20,000, 15,000. And the sad fact is that देखने बहुत कम लोग आएंगे. To be fair, they did try to have a couple women's tournaments in smaller venues. The idea being like, if we play in Agra, we'll get more than at the Wankhede. It worked out sporadically, but not enough to make it. So that's why when you use the word optics, Anu, it comes down to that. The host broadcaster, they can afford it, but it looks bad when there's nobody watching. That is the main problem why they could not do it.
But I mean, I'm just curious. ये Big Bash and all ये सब होते हैं. How much audience and all are in turning up in them in general? Like I mean, I see at least some of the matches I've seen. उतना audience तो नहीं होता है, and they seem to be doing fine only. So what's the like? Why is it like?
They don't have that broadcaster board wala problem. They're on the same page. Plus, they're not so concerned about it. They just want to actually promote the women's game, which unfortunately is not 100% the case here. Plus, in the BBL, you would still get a higher level of cricket. Sometimes our level, it lacks a bit. So it's all these factors put together. But the BBL is not so worried about how many people come. They have an endorsement to last you for the whole season, men and women's game, Abijit. That's why it's not a bigger problem. I think the best example is the Kia Women's League in the UK. That gets much bigger crowds. And men's cricket women's cricket in India, people actually come to watch far less test matches and T20s and one days than in countries like Australia and England. We get more crowd, I think, for the IPL than we do for an average T20I match. Yes, they might show you that the Indore stadium is packed out, but if they were to pan the camera across the whole ground, the picture is not as rosy as they actually want you to believe. That's the sad truth.
CW finals were a big highlight, as well pointed out by the asshole Indian, and and Rohan Patil saying now you can have matches in Thailand. And crowds will always be full because of Indians going to Bangkok. Yes, I knew there was certainly at least one Bangkok jokes waiting to happen. We were all waiting for it.
If Atul Khatri was on the stream, he would have cracked it first.
I think there must have been 3 tweets already about the moment Thailand waiting, like Thailand beat Pakistan. ऐसे खतरे ऐसे सोते अचानक से उठा होगा. This is the time for a Bangkok joke right now. But I don't know if it's a fair segue right now, but because we were talking a lot about women's cricket, do we first take a small detour towards the under 17 women's World Cup that's going on right now, and come back to other forms of cricket? First, I mean, you guys also
are you done crying first? I want to know after yesterday's loss. That's all I want to know.
See, I feel very bad about it. Jamie, I'm obviously you're aware, but just to give context to all of that, India lost 8-0 to US. Now, first of all, see, US in terms of women's football is like a behemoth. It's like the biggest. It's a strong powerhouse. Somehow, in terms of men's football, US has never been that big of a deal. But in women's football, US is up top, like just pretty much the strongest country historically, every way wise. I think they have a very strong league system of their own as well. So I mean, it's basically like unse harna to tha hi, but obviously 8-0 scoreline kind of makes you feel very deflated and मेरे को तो क्या ही deflated, like just for those girls. I mean that must be just so bad for them. What just felt more irritating was just those news piece, that news piece of some of the girls on the team had got their match kit, like their football shoes, on match day itself. लाइक मैच डे पे जाके उनको अपने शूज मिल रहे हैं. लाइक दिस इज जस्ट इनकॉम्पिटेंस एट अ डिफरेंट लीग ऑल टुगेदर. बिकॉज अपने मतलब जूते तो यार मतलब इवन हम लोग अपने घटिया लेवल पे अगर जब टफ फुटबॉल खेलते तो फर्स्ट डे को द शूज आर बाइटिंग. एटलीस्ट इट टेक्स 2-3 सेशंस, 2-3 राउंड्स फॉर यू टू गेट कंफर्टेबल इन दोस शूज. हाउ कैन दे बी गिवन फुटबॉल शूज on the first day itself of match day when you're playing against? I mean, this is a big deal for uh, India. The fact that you're hosting the World Cup or hosting the under 17 World Cup. Again, obviously Odisha
You're
comes to
playing
the
also for
queue.
the first time, no?
Obviously playing for the first time. Yeah, otherwise
Qualified for
ranking
the
wise
first time along with some, yeah, along with some
qualified to bus,
Middle Eastern nations.
qualified the first time because we are the host nations. There's no way
The
otherwise
host,
we would
yeah.
have otherwise we would have qualified, because let's be honest, like, yeah, football wise. So and the thing is also that I mean, for me, I have a lot of hope from women's football because in general मेरे को फुटबॉल का समझ ही नहीं आता इंडिया का क्या सीन है. मतलब जैसे जनरली सब चीज पे लगता है कि और कहीं कुछ सोल्यूशन नहीं होता तो पैसा तो सोल्यूशन होगा. अब आईएसएल भी आ गया, उसमें रिलायंस वालों का पैसा भी आ गया, फिर भी इंडियन फुटबॉल ऊपर नहीं जा रहा. तो मुझे लाइक द ओनली थिंग दैट आई फाइनली थॉट दैट लाइक व्हेन women's football finally picks up, then finally, the footballing tiger that India, the sleeping giant, and all those metaphors that people have been using, that will come up. But I mean, obviously these kind of things are very deflating, especially with the whole AIFF thing that was because of which वो पहले disqualify हो गई थी. वो तो thankfully something worked out and thankfully they got the hosting rights. But yeah, it's just very deflating.
Look, I mean, I think that is, we talked a few minutes ago about the impact of Kapil Dev's 175. This is the other side. That innings changed Indian cricket and Indian sports so much that jo dikta hai, bikta hai wala philosophy, it just became obscene, right? Until then, cricket was around. It was popular, but I think until the 81 Olympics, hockey was still the number one team. But in 81, and I'm telling you, there's a direct correlation between 81 के बाद हमारा हॉकी स्टैंडर्ड गिरना और 83 में इंडिया का वर्ल्ड कप जीतना. Hockey was far more popular before 83, but that changed the game. Now, when Reliance started to put money into cricket and the BCCI grew, and then Jagmohan Dalmia, we know that whole story, right? How many sports got sidelined because of one country's, one board's, of all the conglomerates' fascination with cricket? We all know the answer, right? I know, like, look at archery. Archery has had one president for 44 years. That is problematic. So, yes, It is saddening, it is sickening when the players do not get their gear until one day. But this is the problem. All the money is driven into one sport, and it's been years and years of this. Tell you something, I rarely watch the ISL. What has the ISL done for Indian football? 5-6 saal ke baad, I don't see an answer. Hey, nahi.
Yeah.
Is it a feeder system? Let's get real. It's not. Are the players making money? I'm all for that. Please make money. But Indian football से क्या मिल रहा है ISL से मैं अब तक नहीं समझ पाया हूँ. Sorry.
Even Sunil Chetri to this just a few weeks ago was pushed by the minister to be in the photo.
Imagine.
When he's the one getting the award. Yeah, and this is a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
India's most decorated footballer.
Imagine.
Person with third most active players में third most number of goals, like after the Messis and Ronaldos, but third most number of goals. मतलब legend, like he's a cult figure by himself right now. Bengali governor going like, अरे मेरा मैं जीता है ना, तू हटना. Like he just, oh god, like
because they fully believe that they can push these kind of people. Would they push a Virat Kohli?
Yeah.
Virat Kohli.
No.
Would they push a MS Dhoni? But क्या है ये, right? This is the problem, and I don't want to be a cynic. I'm all for sports getting promoted, pumping in money, लेकिन जब तक mentality ऐसी अभिजीत होगा क्या? Sad truth, man. I'm sorry.
So that's the weird part, because I mean that I tweeted that out as well, because otherwise तुम्हें इतना अभी लगता है ना कि like generally sports को लेके ज़्यादा excitement है अभी. Right now it feels like there's a kind of a resurgence in sports in general. For different sports, India started doing well. In Commonwealths, in Olympics, the number of participation is definitely getting better. But then when you hear these kind of stories again, it just feels you like, क्या हमारा वही अभी वापस dark ages वाला ही scene चल रहा है. That's why it's just more pissing off right now after and it's these figures, yeah, just what you're saying, these people who are just power hungry, people who want to stay at that thing. I mean, I don't know if it's even fair to say it, but like Praful Patel, and his whole football का जो किया, एक बार I think Neville was it, Neville एक बार बढ़िया सा outrage में चल गया था, ये प्रफुल्ल पटेल तो है ही घटिया, पहले एविएशन को किया, जहां जहां जाता है सब खराबी करता है. So yeah, so I think yeah, a lot of these figures have just screwed sports in a big way.
What are we talking about? Look at the BCCI, the richest board. I mean, how many cricketers are in it? I mean,
Yep.
your namesake now has had to step away and move into sunset
Unceremoniously.
and say it's okay. One can't be a cricketer forever. One can't be an administrator forever. There are bigger things in store for me. And of course, that's become another political issue with the Trinamool Congress saying, oh, Jay Shah can get another term as BCCI secretary, but Mr. Ganguly can't. So, of course, I mean, we're talking about politics at the richest board level. What about these smaller sports in this country? Yeah? What hope
Yep.
is there for that?
Yep.
And
Very well.
not just
And
yeah, go ahead, Jamie.
when was Ganguly pushed up? Bengal elections. Okay. Who's being pushed now? Brijesh Patel. Q Karnataka elections. Who's the new IPL chairman? Himachal पे election नहीं चल रहा अभी क्या? चल रहा है बाबा. It's like it's so clear cut what's happening.
But to
It's
be
sad.
fair, the point they made the point and made it a particular shusha to say that Ganguly is the one who stepped down from IPL. I mean, he didn't want it, and that's
Just
why
like
they had
Virat
to
Kohli
give it
stepped
away.
down from captaincy
Because
also.
eventually कभी बंगाल में वापस सिलेक्शन भी तो होएगा ना.
I'm saying गांगुली को वही थप्पड़ मिला जो 10 महीने पहले उस थप्पड़ उसने विराट कोहली को मारा. तो जो बोगे आपको वही मिलेगा. I have no sympathy for that man right now.
No, but I mean, from what I have heard, that for the last 8 to 10 months, Jesha and Ganguly have not been basically in very great terms. Like पता
Since
नहीं
the
है.
Virat Kohli episode, 10 and a half months ago, it comes down to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So, and it's very funny because the whole like there are people who are the Trinamool Congress people and all are saying ki, because Ganguly said no to standing for BJP, where he obviously when he was
On the
supposed to be
ticket,
a
yeah.
face of BJP, then he famously had those heart problems, which they have
Yeah.
been
You mean conveniently or famously? Sorry,
very
what?
yeah, sorry, yeah. Those chest issues that he had, and
Yeah.
so after that, and which is funny because these guys are fighting, and then Saurav Ganguly in his interview goes and says, don't always get success. Like there are Trinamool people saying BJP people have done politics over here, and then Saurav Ganguly say, like, a lot of these people get success. Like look at Narendra Modi. He didn't get success in one day. He goes and sides again a BJP person only. It's like Modi himself. So yeah, Trinamool people are like, "Arey yaar, ye to kya kar raha hai?" But yeah, it's funny to see all this. I don't know. Yeah, it's just bizarre. But how do you guys feel
Again,
about the whole thing?
Sorry?
I mean, welcome,
What-
Mr. Roger Binney. I guess what else is there to say? I'm
Yep.
I'm sure you have so much power and you can do exactly what you want. No one's going to pull your strings at all.
यार ये this is very weird, no?
I
ये
mean-
कब हो गया यार? The words president and the word secretary, like ये अक्षय कुमार के मीम जैसा कब हो गया ये? Like this is like, I mean, wasn't it supposed to be the other way around? Like then at least एक इंसान को president बना दो यार. ये तो now I sometimes feel even in the other situation, which Shah is more powerful and which prime minister is more powerful. Anyway, this is a sports podcast, guys. Let's keep this to sports. Guys. Let's keep this to sports. So, but yeah, I guess that basically means Mayanti Langa is going to be hosting TV shows for a long time now.
Meow, Abhijit. Meow. Just shut up. She had a longer cricketing career than her husband anyway. Keep quiet.
Don't
Playing in the Legends Tour now.
I really, what, after स्टुअर्ट बिनी का मेरे को एक याद है, 2-3 साल कुछ नहीं देखा, अचानक से फिर एक आईपीएल में आया और पागलों की तरफ फोड़ा. He was killing it. Like he was like, and I'm like, ये स्टुअर्ट बिनी तो मेरे को ध्यान ही नहीं था कभी इतना किल कर रहा था something. And next time उसके बाद रिटायर कर गया. I'm like, but अभी तो इतना बढ़िया खेला था यार, 1-2 साल और खेलता. So I was just like, yeah, I think Stuart Binney could have.
But again, that's problematic of the whole system, right? If you want to earn more money and play these leagues, you have to be officially retired, which is why, like in a weekend, 6-7 guys retire. But that's what it is. I'm all for them earning money. I have no issue with that. Yeah,
Yeah, we all know. I mean, we are putting up challenges of likes. यहाँ पे आ जाएंगे तो गाली खाऊंगा मैं. तो हम किसको क्या ही जज करें कि कोई अपना पैसा कमाने के लिए रिटायर करना है तो करे. हाँ, Legends League करे या वो अब तो I think Legends League is going to be a big thing right now. Is the Legends League also associated with BCCI or is it? I mean, has to be some way associated with them or?
Because you need the grounds, you have to get the BCCI's approval, right? So BCCI will not officially say anything, but if you need the ground, and the first one, I think the first one was played in Ranchi or Raipur or somewhere on that side. Now this one was on the road. You know, you had Kanpur, you had Dehradun. They had like 8 matches in Dehradun. All this happens with the BCCI's approval. So indirectly, hey, yellow.
Lot of these chats coming around. Odds of Stuart Binney in the World Cup team. Yeah, Stuart Binney को chance मिलेगा क्या? नहीं, Stuart Binney has retired and he's playing in Legends along with Sachin Tendulkar. So I think he's and he's pretty. He must be like अभी. I don't think Legends में भी कुछ टाइम बाद कम पैसा बनने वाला है. Legends में भी I think compared to football तो ज़्यादा ही पैसा बन जाएगा. तो so that has.
यहाँ मैं आपके शो पे ये खुलासा करता हूँ. एक समय पे एक कप्तान और एक कोच के बीच कुछ काफी तनाव था जिसके कारण कुछ हुआ था. तो जो इनमें से एक जो थे, मैं नाम नहीं लूंगा, one of these people wanted said player in the team not too long ago, and on that basis they had a bit of a disagreement. So you can see the ahmiyat of Stuart Binney 5-6 years ago.
Please repeat. What are you talking about? I talk about IPL. I talk about Indian team. What?
I just said.
Now he'll tell us at the end of it. Okay, we'll have to stop the stream. Then he'll tell us. This is a secret. Okay, at the end. Okay, we'll find out.
Not too long ago, a very, very powerful Indian captain and a very, very powerful Indian coach did not quite get along, and the falling out was somewhat unsavory. Let's say that, right?
Okay.
Of the two, one person wanted said Stuart Binney in the squad for a very big global event. And the other said, "Are you mad?" अब बस ये देख लो, यहाँ से शुरुआत हुई थी.
Off this head for the coach and the player.
So can I make guesses? I mean, you cannot say
I'm not
yes or
saying
no.
I have said my bit.
He's not going to corroborate. Yeah.
Yeah, but
he's put it out there.
We are getting some of the chats, and I was going to make the same guess. So yeah, Virat Kumble. Everybody.
Who's Virat Kumble? Yeah, I know Virat Kohli and Anil Kumble. Who's this Virat Kumble?
Yeah, geography teacher. It's called Anil Kumble as the geography teacher. He is the geography teacher. Look, but. अरे यार ऐसा मत बोलो यार. हाँ, but anyway, cool. That's a nice story reveal. If you would have gotten known in advance, I would have set some like target. Neville would be so disappointed.
Arey, Jamesh, you should tell us before. Then we'll say when you were up to 350 likes, then Jamesh will do one khulasa like that.
Yeah, अच्छा है वैसे. I don't know. We're gonna have the discussion. We're gonna go down this rabbit hole, but good fun, yeah.
Okay, this is a very interesting thing. So I guess we have talked about BCCI, Roger Binney, obviously, and apparently Kirti Azad ka recently आया कि the whole batch of 83 is very happy with the fact that he has been made, Roger Binney has been made the president. But again, of course, it goes into seeing how much he will be actually president and how much will he be run by the secretary.
Is it a nominal head or is it not?
Yeah, man. Secretary running the president. This is like karma for all the Bill Clinton Lewinsky episode. But anyway, moving on from that. Anu just pretending that earphones mein sunai nahi diya.
Yeah.
But okay. So anything else around BCCI or anything? Or should we move on to actual cricket now?
No.
Okay.
India, South Africa. Chalo.
India, South Africa. What a meaningful series, guys. What a great meaningful series. Like so much point to the series of India versus South Africa. Yeah. ODIs.
As useful as my appendicitis in preparation of a World Cup. Like I do not understand the logic of this. And what irked me even more is the fact that there are bilateral series going on. New Zealand, Pakistan, Bangladesh in New Zealand. England is playing Australia in Australia. I mean, they're all there in the region where the World Cup is going to take place. And we are playing 50 overs against South Africa. I mean, I don't understand. And then we're patting ourselves on the back that our B team has managed to beat South Africa's A team. Like, well done, guys. Like what is going on? Who's planning this shit? Like get so annoyed.
It's
And then we lost also at the Wacker today. That irritated me even more. I was like, is this sort of preparation worthy?
like हर्षल पटेल अभी भी मतलब in these practice matches भी पिट रहा है क्या काफी?
आज थोड़ा विकेट
No,
लिया
but he
दो, I
said
think.
24 slow balls is good enough in an innings. I
वो
said, fine, Harshal, let's go with that. क्या बोलूं मैं?
कुछ नहीं बोल सकते उसके बाद. What are you going to say exactly? I read
Yeah.
that I was like, अरे यार ये बेचारे. And I get this interview was done sometime पहले. Interview था, उसको लगाना है, ये गलत time पे लगाया interview उन्होंने. But look, I mean, just going back to what you said about these 3 one-days. In a T20 World Cup year, literally weeks before, yes, it makes no sense. But look at someone like a Siraj and Shardul Thakur. They were not even in the scene. Had they not taken those wickets, they would not be. Now, technically, galat khabar aayi, they have not left India yet. A lot of reports came yesterday that they've left. Only Shami's gone. This I can say on the record. Abhi Siraj or Thakur nahi gaye. But 2 guys who were not in the fray 2 weeks ago have actually most likely put themselves up there. So from their perspective, yes, these matches were important. But overall, 3 one-days, 2 weeks before a World Cup make no sense to me as well.
No,
But
of course, see,
Jamie, they're
from
only getting a
somebody's
chance because Deepak Chahar is injured. Otherwise, he would have
Which
gone.
itself is
So
a
I'm saying,
mystery.
irrespective of with this
Yeah.
50 over championship taking place, our pool was also limited, especially because we were looking for players who've had Australia experience. And also the cute part is we were like holding on to the secret of who was going to be sent. I mean, a BCCI president has been chosen. And we're like, no, we will make the announcement on October 14th. What is happening October 14th?
Exactly. They would have put all their eggs in the Mohammad Shami basket. Then the guy goes and gets COVID. But I'm saying this is the kind of twists and plots that we like to see in Indian cricket. My only point is I found these 3 matches extremely pointless and dull. But where they actually had to fall back on was कि ये हफ्ते में किसने बॉल अपने हाथ से छोड़ा. अच्छा शार्दुल ने किया, चल, because Prasidh Krishna's injured, they had to pick somebody who would actually bowl in a live match. So in that sense, by some weird quirky twist of fate, these matches actually became important for these 2 guys. I think that's some minor silver lining from this series. Otherwise, utterly pointless.
no match. Obviously, we can say that in the context of the World Cup, it's not important. But match, obviously, किसी ना किसी के लिए तो important होगा यार. For even a Shubman Gill who's playing, for a Shreyas Iyer, उसके लिए तो मतलब चलो chance तो मिल रहा है, like than just sitting at home and not doing anything. उनके लिए important तो है ही. For somebody, even a Kuldeep, हाँ, तो मतलब वो
Kuldeep and a Shubman, they're not in T20 World Cup selection frame. Why are they going to Mohammad Shami, जो 1 साल से T20 match खेला ही नहीं है, right? Yes, when you selected him, it was with the hope कि वो यहाँ 3-4 मैच खेलेगा. But the bugger is not played, right? At least you have Shardul, Thakur and Siraj. They've done something, right? I don't like this finish. Mohammad Shami, in theory, could be good there. In theory, even I could be good in Australia because I've watched cricket for 30 years. No, आपको ऐसे player चाहिए भैया जो अभी अंतरराष्ट्रीय cricket में the ball is being released. Mohammad Shami is bowling 3 hours after COVID to 1 stump in some net. That is not enough to take. And where is Halabaloo coming over Mohammad Shami? The guy is not a T20 bowler. I would have a Shardul any day. It's because Shardul took wickets in these 3 matches that he's now in the frame. That's my argument.
No, that's absolutely spot on. In fact, if anything, this is again just confused me that who should be there as a spinner. I don't know. चहल मतलब वही सेम प्रॉब्लम आ जाती है that we just don't know that which is India's best A team. India की है कौन सी, but Basant has actually come up with a very right thing. Anu, India का B team तो छोड़ो, why was South Africa playing their best team in ODIs in India just before the World Cup? Like it's just
because they have no jet lag problems clearly. And their bowlers needed practice. And they also, like us, were not having many practice games in Australia. I have no idea. Like, I didn't actually expect Rabada and all to stay on. I didn't.
Yeah.
So I was like quite shocked to watch Nokia and him play.
How bad is the debt situation in South Africa, man? Like how bad do these? Like it must be pretty bad. This is as strong as it gets. This was their basic A team.
And exactly what Basant was asking. They've lost Van der Dusen. They lost Dwayne Pretorius. If two more players got
Yes.
injured playing this utterly pointless series, Ranchi, Lucknow, Kotla, there's no point. Like India basically picked their the India A team. Ki jao khelo. They should have done the same. There's nothing to be gained by playing in these conditions when 2 weeks later you're going to be playing in Perth, MCG, Sydney. So, koi
In
logic nahi hai.
completely different conditions, and Andrik Nokia couldn't believe him was going at 150 out of just sheer anger and irritation. I was like, "Are you mental, boy? Like, just calm down. You're going to be on a flight in a day." Like,
Exactly.
But actually, this is a fair point. They needed to play for Super League point, like the South Africa T20 League. उसके सारे owners तो देसी अपने देसी businessmen ही है.
yeah, this
Maybe
is true.
to get some brownie points amongst them and all. Yeah, it helps. Again, everything for the paycheck, guys. Yeah, Papi Pate and everything. So maybe that's the reason they were doing that. Yeah.
And Jamie was saying last week, is it like weird that a national captain in Temba Bavuma has not been chosen in the South African Cricket League at all? Like, I mean, it's quite unheard of.
It's shocking, and
Yeah.
I hope that there's someone who's got an arm around that guy's shoulder, because his lack of runs was clearly because of that, not because of any gap from the game. When you played the level of cricket he's played, you should be scoring something, but he's clearly been crippled by not being picked by that league. So I wish the guy the best, but I would not want to be him right now. Yeah.
So what is
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've not been that following that the warm up matches that India are playing. How has it been going for India in Australia so far?
2 matches against a Western Australia second 11. कल के
11.
match कल या परसों they won fairly easily. यार Abhijit, it's one of those matches where 15 batting करेंगे 15 fielding करेंगे, right? They won the first match. आज के match में they brought back bowlers like Jason Behrendorff and Andrew Tye. It was a stronger team, and apparently what I spoke to some guys there, it was the extra bounce. Bounce has always caused our batsmen problems, right? But Rohit and Virat did not bat, so I'm not too surprised. Yes, when you lose to a second team of a state by 36 odd runs,
30,
थोड़ा
yeah.
थोड़ा तो shocking होता है. I mean, for me.
Okay.
And also,
it's
England has beaten Australia in their
Absolutely,
T20 series. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I'm pretty
T20
confident. Like, well done.
Is
them.
this true, by the way? Jamie or Anu, you guys are aware of this? This 2020 World Cup T20 was supposed to happen in India, but India switched it to Australia for 2020 World Cup to accommodate the 2020 IPL. Yeah.
So originally
Really?
it was supposed to be this same time in Australia, right? Then it was COVID happened. Then it was shifted to India. India is shifted to the UAE finally.
UAE,
So
right?
Exactly. It was supposed to be Australia, but then because of COVID, then it became India. India पे यहाँ पे second wave आ गया. Finally, it was there. Look, it's very easy to say that things are done to accommodate the IPL, but in this case, the reality was actually it was more of a COVID situation thing.
See, IPL also does get a lot of flack because it's the easy thing to blame things on. Like, मतलब वो वही है ना कि
Yeah.
rich people, ये विजय माल्या खराब है क्योंकि मतलब it's just the like yeah you see like it's the easy target वाला scene थोड़ा बहुत हो ही जाता है.
Yeah.
But
And everyone's favorite whipping boy. But also, a lot of people get
Absolutely.
pensions, from it. And a lot of people get
Yeah.
opportunities. And now you can have a women's IPL thanks to it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and we get so many people back in form, like England's T20 team or form. I think it's completely due to IPL. सारे जो लोग खेलना भूल गए
I mean,
थे,
Brendan
वो लोग
McCullum
हमने
has
बुला
this
बुला
job
के-
with England thanks to the IPL. And the wonders he did with
Yes.
KKR. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How is Chris Jordan doing? I heard Chris Jordan was getting Chris Jordan was again bowling some death overs and with a smile getting
उसका तो है.
I love Chris Jordan, man. उसको सब मारते रहते हैं पागलों की 18 रन जाता है. He just does not have a damn to give. Like he's like अरे यार सही है सब कुछ. It's amazing. उसका तो कुछ है ही नहीं वो. But चलो सही है. Comedy. ये भी सही है. Yeah, we should not say anything to IPL, guys. Comedians को भी रोजगार मिलता है thanks to IPL. Yeah, IPL is nice, guys. IPL is very good. Hot start those. But yes. But yeah, what do you guys say? What is the T20 World Cup chances that for India? What do you, Jamie? Because you are seeming in a very impassioned mood right now. a lot of things
Yeah,
direct from the heart it has come
From
out.
a Black Cap's point of view, Jamie, what would be your expert opinion as someone from the
no,
outside looking in?
yes, yes, yes. Well, I'm very glad that my team is playing this Tri Series. But no, all jokes apart, I think what Anu said a few minutes ago about the teams that are currently in Australia or have been in Australia. West Indies played 2 matches. England are playing Australia. Pakistan and Bangladesh are not too far away. I think these are the teams which are actually going to get a big boost as compared to our team playing in Ranchi, Ghana, whatever it is. Yes, it's not the T20 team. The T20 team is actually playing in Perth, but it's the teams who've been playing Australia who, to my mind, are the favorites. They're going to get a lot out of that as compared to our team, which is playing, Western Australia's second 11. Very, very shortly, because you asked me, Abhijit, we did this during the Asia Cup. I was very, very low on optimism. My optimism has somewhat increased because I think when I saw the pool, finally, when I got down to brass tacks and I saw which teams India is going to be playing with, it's basically barring some calamity, India or Pakistan to aage jayenge wahan se, right? Because Sri Lanka is the dark horse. Lekin Sri Lanka us pool mein jayegi, jahan pe England, Australia, New Zealand, three of my top 4 teams are actually in one pool, which means ke do hi jayenge, right? So from this pool, at least India's road to the semi-finals seems fairly straightforward to me now, despite the fact that we don't know who's going to bowl the first over, who's going to bowl the 19th over, and who's going to bowl the 20th over. I think we have the batting might, but jeetenge bahut mushkil hai.
Shweta, who's one of our regular viewers, I'm trying to, England has highest chances of winning, and India ka bowling is the real issue, which is exactly what Jamie also talked about, which actually we just did not see this coming. Like we were set in such a happy place, some months before that, India ki pace
Our
bowling itni
fast
amazing
bowling
hogi, hame lag hi raha
quartet.
tha.
We just
Yeah,
wanted to say those words.
the
Quartet.
foursomes, yeah,
Yeah.
the
Fearsome
fearsome
foursomes.
four, like aise pura all these metaphors and alliterations were coming out, and suddenly again back to wahi wali situation that हमारी batting strong है और bowlers तो batting strong भी
Death
पता नहीं.
bowling is shit. What happened?
It's
Yeah,
dead.
and again
Yeah.
pace is non-existent, like suddenly everybody is back to lesser pace. It's just like purana wala वापस हमारे बचपन के दिन वापस आ गए. So what went wrong, yeah? What happened? What do you guys
But also
feel?
curiosity wise, I mean, considering we are the richest board and we are, the largest cricket watching nation and consumer of cricket, how come we didn't push for going to Australia earlier or having this bilateral series in New Zealand earlier? I mean, we have the might behind us. Why would we say yes to India versus South Africa as opposed to getting our asses over there sooner and acclimatizing?
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
people keep saying we are the board and we pull up.
Yeah.
BCCI pulls all the strings. Why are they pulling the strings all wrong? Why this shitty pull of strings? Like, ढंग से तो strings pull like
वही
the
तो.
tournament, the New Zealand, Bangladesh and Pakistan tournament that could have easily been India.
Absolutely.
The West. What's
I
happening?
think Mr. Ganguly was busy pulling Jay Shah strings and Jay Shah was busy pulling Saurabh Ganguly strings, and ये इसलिए हो गया. अच्छा साला World Cup भी हो रहा है. अच्छा. This year was India have played 31 T20s. It is the most that any team in the history of T20Is has played this. Good thinking, fantastic. लेकिन वही थोड़ा 4-5 वहाँ भी करते हैं जहाँ पे World Cup हो रहा है. So I'm on the same
Yeah.
page as both of you.
Yeah.
Thoda surprising.
Considering we've had like some 5 different captains and 3 different coaches and 25 different teams. So at this point, it's like anyone's guess.
Yep.
मुझे तो समझ में नहीं आता ये यार, ये कैसे हो सकता है. Like this तो is unheard for me that we have a captain like a Shikhar Dhawan is captaining this side, which is the second team or something like that, and he's not even getting a place in the abhi to chalo Shikhar Dhawan ka form. By the way, Shikhar Dhawan is coming in a movie. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, I saw the photograph. Yes.
Man, guys, yeah, he's killing it. But so I mean, it's just
He's also had time, Abhijit, because he's been the intermittent player. When we needed the A team captain, he's called in. Sorry, B team captain, he's called in.
Shikhar Dhawan has the easiest job in Indian cricket right now. T20s में आपका रास्ता बंद है. टेस्ट आप खुद छोड़ चुके हो. You are still the second name on the team sheet when it comes to ODIs after the captain. You get to captain these B teams. They're all younger. There's no egos. They're all chilled out guys. आप सीरीज जीतते हो और आप जाके मस्त रील बनाते हो. Who would not want to be Shikhar Dhawan right now, यार? You got the best job in Indian cricket. Tension नहीं है यार. और चलो वीरे नाचो, यही तो है.
No wonder the man's dancing all the time.
बस,
Yeah.
Anybody associated with cricket in India, हम लोग उससे ज्यादा टेंशन में हैं यार. Shikhar Dhawan
He
is
has
killing
no
it.
stress. He knows he's not playing T20. He's not playing Tests. He has one World Cup left in about 10, 11 months, which he's going to go for. Enjoy karo yaar. Best.
Yeah. And he gets the chance to say the boys played well.
There you go.
But what is the final say on the bowling in for you guys for the T20 World Cup? Like, is there, like, does Shardul Thakur make it in the squad, or what is it looking like?
I'll let Anu go first.
Who knows? Who knows at this point, Abhijit? When is he going to get there? We don't know. Like I mean, at the end of the day, also he's this last minute, guy who's flown in because they're like, okay, he's shown some sort of promise, so we'll get him back. So, quite honestly, sometimes I'm quite flabbergasted that Harshal Patel is there. So
Bhubaneswar Kumar?
it's not like I have a record behind me to speak of, so I wouldn't.
But Bhubaneswar
know.
Kumar, like, who do you think? Like, Bhubaneswar Kumar is fine.
I'm a big Bhuvi fan. Like I honestly, I really, when he's like in form and bowling well and not injured and his light eyes flicker, and I really, really enjoy him bowling. I'm not so convinced about Harshal Patel anymore. I don't know. There's something seems to be missing. Either he's putting too much stress on himself, or he's, he just looks stressed all the time. Like the hair weave also is not working. Like nothing is working at this point. So I feel like, yeah, something, and his form is not helping him, and these interviews also are not helping him of 24 slower balls. So
Not at all. Yeah, I mean, look. No, go on.
Go, Jamie. Go now. Go.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm on the same page because Harshal Patel was catapulted as this answer to all your death over woes. Before he got injured, he had actually taken a lot of wickets, but the economy at the death was bordering on 10.2. Now, it's not terrible, it's also not very good for someone whose reputation is based on doing a job, right? So even before he got this injury, I'm talking about the first 5 months of the year when he was seen as, wow, I was like, acha hai, but itna kuch khas nahi hai, right? Then he goes off the boil, he comes back, he's been pretty poor. Yes, the interviews don't help. But right now, without Bumrah, you're left with one death bowler who's still a rookie, who's barely played 12, 13 matches. If Arshdeep has had 2 bad matches, I'm still saying that's about 8 or 9 poor matches less than the next guy, right? I'm also a big Bhubaneswar supporter, but the fact is, he's not doing his job at the death. India, and Abhijit, exactly what we talked about during the Asia Cup, they have picked predominantly power play specialist fast bowlers. चाहर मस्त है पावर प्ले में, बुमराह मस्त है पावर प्ले में, आपका भुवी मस्त है पावर प्ले में, सिराज मस्त है पावर प्ले में. सिराज डेथ बॉलर नहीं है, शामी डेथ बॉलर नहीं है. And I'm not talking out of my rear end. This, you look at any IPL, look at the last IPL, सिराज डेथ में डाला ही नहीं, शामी डेथ में डाला ही नहीं. अचानक these guys unfairly have to go and take wickets at the death. नहीं होगा बाबा. अर्शदीप को छोड़ के आपके पास डेथ ओवर बॉलर है ही नहीं. And he has one bad match when he goes for 60 runs. अरे लड़का flop है यार, नहीं है भाई, कोई तो है ना. So this is why I'm saying India, every match in Australia can put up 210, but the bowlers can give 211. This is the problem.
This is a very good comment only. How did we get into a place where our fastest bowler has just one shoulder? Like, how is our fastest bowler a shoulderless person? Our fastest bowler, it's just bizarre. ये कहाँ से ये दिन आ गया अचानक से समझ ही नहीं आया. And where is Khalil Ahmed? ये कहाँ गया? ये पता नहीं है, मतलब आया चला गया कहाँ, कुछ समझ नहीं आया.
I think with Khalil Ahmed, they probably brought him in a little bit too early. He's good, but that early exposure was perhaps not good for him. Uske baad, he just, again, you have to be picked based on your domestic performances, and barring one IPL season, the guy's not done enough. So he's not the answer to your problems. I mean, that's Like no disrespect.
I found it
Yadav
really
has a
funny that sorry, I found it really funny that Brett Lee was saying, "I can't believe you have a guy in Umran Malik who bowls at 150 km, and then he's just sitting, swatting flies, and you don't think that he warrants a place in this team." Of course, now Brett Lee's also a fast bowler, so he can say all these things.
Yeah.
But the point is, like, it's an interesting question. Have we not used Umran Malik enough, or should we have used him more in order to prepare him for the tracks of Australia? Like, why didn't we, given the pace at which he bowls? I mean, I don't understand so many of our decisions, and I love Rahul Dravid, I do, but I'm so confused.
You have hit the nail on the head. I think we all love Rahul Dravid. He was my favorite player of a certain era, but
Yeah,
as a coach, lot of things are not adding up. And I understand Anu and Abhijit that it's not one person's call. Kaptan ka bhi
yeah,
hota hai, but the contrasting statements from Dravid and Rohit Sharma, 36, 48 hours apart, makes no sense to me. And Umran Malik, my thing is, people talk about, yeah, he should be playing tests. No, you need someone who can just come in and just scare the bejesus out of
yeah,
some mega batsman. Even if he only played this World Cup and never played again, in my little world, in my bubble, I'd be very happy. Before that stage comes, he gets a shoulder, a back, a knee,
yeah,
and he's gone forever, and he's left to be playing in Srinagar for the next 10 years. Throw the guy in the deep end. You
but
know, Australia. India has won 2 series in Australia largely because of the pace bowlers. हम तीन यहाँ बैठ के हमें क्यों समझाना पड़ेगा बीसीसीआई को? Throw
yeah,
the guy in, man. Just and 4 overs 40 is okay from a guy like him.
yeah.
Gobsmacking
and
that he's not there.
people keep saying like we can't directly like these guys like Abraham, like, we can't directly send him to a World Cup. Don't send him, no. Test him in the other series and everything. Like
But you've had
why
so
can't we
many
get a
series to
so
choose
many
from,
series?
exactly.
Absolutely, A team वाले series, B team वाले series, ये series
Yeah.
वो series डलवाओ ना उससे.
Brett Lee कहाँ से आया? Brett Lee was also thrown in the deep end in that 99 series against India. The guy became a star overnight. Take a risk, now throw them in, yeah. ऐसा पेस किसी के पास नहीं है पूरे देश में. Throw the guy. Let's see what happens, yeah.
No, but you're right. I mean, their careers always like a Shane Bond, for example, right? At that pace, you can't sustain it over a long period of time, and of course, you'll get slower, and the kind of deliveries you bowl. But while you have it, why not go for it?
Yeah.
Exactly. On that same note, Anu, Shane Bond, a very apt thing. Do you want to get Umran Malik injured bowling his rear end off in some Syed Mushtaq Ali trophy, or do you want to see it happening in Australia, जहाँ पे at least उसको हौसला मिलेगा from the pitch, right?
Yeah,
Let
the
him
last
go.
time
Let him get that
last
injury there. At least trying his ass off for the country rather than playing in some I don't know where. That's my thing.
and by with all due respect, like our last success story in Australia was all about young unheard rookies going crazy, like a Rishabh Pant proving himself, like a Siraj out of nowhere going crazy, Washington Sundar, Shardul Thakur. I mean, apart from Rishabh Pant, all the other guys का तो बिल्कुल ही almost first time वाला ही था, and they did it. So why not Umrah? It's just anyway. I guess BCCI and that
But
decisions we have just like
speaking of
started
Syed
accepting like
Mushtaq Ali
destiny.
Trophy, I wanted to tell you, Abhijit, that Venkatesh Iyer scored 62 in just 31 balls
Yeah.
against
Oh,
Rajasthan. Just to
yeah.
keep you
Poor
happy, I
fellow.
wanted to give you this bit of information.
I mean, he got Venkatesh Iyer got his chance, did not do that well. Rohit Sharma suddenly, I sometimes do not understand Rohit Sharma's. I am nobody to question Rohit Sharma's captaincy, but I don't understand his decisions to just not make people bowl. Or does he like forget sometimes कि अरे वो भी bowling करता नहीं करता है पता नहीं. It's just these things sometimes I don't get. Like अगर तुम एक ऑलराउंडर को खिला रहे हो और एक नया ऑलराउंडर है तो उसको देखने का एक पॉइंट ही तो वो है कि उसका देखो कि वो bowling करे या बैट करे. I don't get it, man. I mean, it's like it seems very like make it tough for these people to perform and then see it rather than give a kind of a atmosphere where they can do better or something. I don't know. It's just very exhausting. Anyway,
This is how I teach my son maths also sometimes. How many overs could Akshar Patel have bowled? 4. How many overs did he bowl? 1. How many overs remaining?
I love it. I'm gonna try this also.
Cool. That has been a very frustrating and nice discussion about cricket and T20 and all kinds of cricket. Do we move on to football now, or is there anything more we want to cover, guys? No? Football.
No, no.
Okay, let's move on to football. And I'm very happy. Yesterday was Champions League. Yeah, first of all, Jamie, let me just check with you. How much football you follow? What's your scene? In like how much? And do you support any club as such?
I follow as much football as Deepak Huda gets to bowl when Rohit is captain. Okay.
Okay, that was. I mean, the answer was very clear. That's a lot of. But you meant Deepak Huda or you meant Akshar Patel?
Akshay was he had the most wickets in the last two series. Deepak
Not
Huda.
in the last match. Last match he got 1 over.
Hey, वो
Why
ठीक
not?
पर उससे पहले he had some 15 wickets, so वो ठीक है.
Okay, fair enough. So yes, so basically, but finally something good happened in football because मेरा honestly speaking of late मेरा football से interest जाने लग गया था because how bad Liverpool had been doing. It was just draining me out how to see them being. I almost started empathizing with United fans. Ki man, credit to you guys for following for last so many years because this was just draining me out. Like I had forgotten how it felt like जो actually तो क्लब से पहले वैसी वाली फीलिंग ही रहती थी ज्यादातर तो but yeah, so yesterday was a super day, super night actually. 7-1 Liverpool won against Rangers. एकदम मजा आ गया पूरा मैच देखा सर रात को मस्त. So it was and Salah scored the fastest hat trick in the history of
Ask you a
Champions League.
question first. I will interrupt you and ask you a question. Since it's so evident that दिन रात खुश हो गया. Mo Salah being benched, was that the right call or not?
For yesterday, see Rangers is not a great club.
उससे पहले.
See, Salah has not been in great form, to be honest. And I
Right.
think sometimes people need kind of a shock to the system, for like then only they come out. Because I mean, how can you question Klopp's decisions if after he got benched at the 60th minute and then he tomorrow comes on as a super sub, like crazy super subs, gets 3 goals in like 6 minutes. That's like Champions League ka record tod diya. And also you would want him to get some rest before Sunday ka City ke against match hai, Manchester City, which to be honest I'm not very optimistic about because City is like Shaolin Soccer. Have you guys seen that Shaolin Soccer movie by the way? Yeah. Shaolin Soccer. It's basically they were Shaolin Soccer वाला team लगता था और उसके बाद से फिर वो Targaryen हरामजादा. Oh, sorry for the language. Pardon my French.
But if you remove Haaland from it, are they still as impressive, Abhijit?
They have been winning the league endlessly without Haaland only. So already they were a machine of a team, and then they got this Terminator ka advanced version. So now it is like a craziness added to like it's when an unstoppable force does not clash but combines with a immovable object. So this is
Immovable
like
object,
both.
yeah.
This is both of them together. So it's like Batman and Bane के साथ Gotham City को लड़ना है. तो क्या करेगा? So it's like Manchester City for me might as well वो लोग तो जिता ही दो उनको. उनके अगेंस्ट कुछ वो है ही नहीं. But yeah, but I'm just happy that Liverpool got a 7-1 victory yesterday. Not much like C1 against Rangers only, but yes, CFC Blues with a very voting Ganguly Akla Choro or you will never walk alone. Somebody has before also, yeah, as a Bengali man, it's very contradictory because there's one hand that is Akla Cholore and the other and there is you will never walk alone. But I guess I will go you will never walk alone way because yeah, that song definitely puts a very emotional kind of a thing. Yadavika saying very nice pleasantry things like City will thrash Liverpool. Okay, fine. I guess वही है. But Jamie, you don't don't follow at all क्या? Like as थोड़ा सा.
Look, you're not gonna see me like planning my day around any EPL match, and definitely not any Champions League match. बहुत late होता है, but of course, I do check the scores in the morning and I see the table. But beyond that, I'm like I like to watch the World Cups every 4 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have my hands full covering one sport, and I'll be very honest. Like from childhood, it's been about 2-3 sports, and football were not part of those. But yes, being in this line, I have to be aware that क्या हो रहा है. But yeah, you're not gonna see me यार आज match है भाई देखना है. नहीं. सुबह अपन देखेगा highlight YouTube पे ठीक है.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
because my husband's a Manchester United fan, so all we can the only good news we have is 700 goals. So that's all we've had to speak about all week.
Yeah, because no, but Jamie was absolutely on point because time तो limited ही है ना अब दिन में अब कितने sports follow कर लोगे अब like
Yeah, man.
recently a lot of my friends and people around have been saying कि F1 भी देखते F1 भी देखना चाहिए all the Netflix पे वो documentary and all lot of people have started watching F1 dude I can't start watching another sport अब कहाँ से इसमें इतना time नहीं है यार
Yeah,
अब
I mean,
बीच में
squash
है यार
doesn't give you the time, Abhijit.
squash does not give me the time yes just give me a second I'm just seeing if no it's working okay nahi, I was just checking suddenly the Nidhi had come
Abhijit, we
and
haven't
said
told people to smash that like button.
oh,
हाँ कितना है भाई?
oh guys
We just
please
got caught
yeah
up in this conversation with Jamesh, na? My God.
Jamesh, yes, we got up caught up in the conversation with Jamesh. Guys, please smash that like button. Just 165 likes, guys. Come on. There are so many. There are 218 viewers right now and
Come on.
165 likes. Come on, guys. What does it go? Just one like button. Neville asked us last time कि थोड़ा लंबा लंबा करके बोलना है. So smash that like button सिर्फ नहीं बोलना है. थोड़ा लंबा करके बोलना है.
Yeah.
Because देखो तुम लोग को कुछ जाता नहीं है ऐसा. He says it very earnestly also. To be fair, me I don't know. Me or Anu don't sound that earnest while we are saying it. It sounds like we are saying sarcastically, but we actually mean it. Smash that like button guys, it just helps the channel grow and it pushes the algorithm to spend it to more and more people so that we do this
Jamie
more
is just a
often.
black caps on the outside. He has an Indian soul inside. So just for that, you should smash
लाइक
that like
बटन
button.
दबाइए, सबका मनोबल बढ़ाइए। हम जो यहाँ बात कर रहे हैं, हम आप ही के लिए बात कर रहे हैं। हम जानते हैं कि आपके पास बहुत कम समय है, आप हमारे साथ जुड़े हो तो लाइक ठोको दोस्तों।
That's just I mean I couldn't have
We're
said it
all
more beautifully than that.
superior, no? Compared to
Yeah,
us.
yeah, it sounded so much so brilliant. I mean
मैं भी रोज
honestly
करता हूँ ये लाइक ठोको, शेयर करो, सब्सक्राइब करो दोस्तों, बंदे का मनोबल बढ़ेगा। आखिर बंदा आपके वीडियो बनाता है तो मीन इट यार, आता है वो दिल से आता है।
guys. Oh, guys, we get to on 200 likes. On 200 likes, Jamie will do a Kane Williamson impersonation. Impression he will do. Let's
And
get on
tell us how
200
he
likes, guys.
felt when he lost that final to England in
Yes.
Yeah.
2019.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Let's. He will.
I
He will.
want to ask from a football point of view, what is why is it that the coach slash manager has such a large part to play compared to most other team sports? Say, for example, a cricket is also a team sport, but you always feel in football the manager is somehow more integral to strategy and is always so animated and on the ball, whereas once like the cricket team has taken the field, unless you're sending some messages, there's not that level of involvement as much as in football. Granted, they're two different sports, but still.
So I will. I'm obviously. This is just my personal opinion. Jamie, you can also pitch in with this. What do you feel about it? But I think like even with football, even with basketball,
yeah.
like a coach or a manager has like a lot of role more than a say a captain of the team. Captain is mostly a figurative position. It's kind of a respect. Obviously, there's a lot of respect in that. But see, the thing with cricket is essentially I don't know if slow is the right word, but cricket gives a lot of time to make the strategic decisions, and there are a lot of things that you can always do. Football as well as basketball, these are all played at a very frantic pace. Now, the moment there's a frantic pace kind of involvement, the strategies and all have to be very much pre-decided than a very impulsive kind of a on that note, you doing things and all that. So that is why I think in these sports like in a football and all strategy ज़्यादा वो football manager is a more important person than say in a cricket. But yeah, I could be wrong. Like in chat also, guys, if you guys have an answer for that, Jamie, what do you feel?
It's exactly the same, and I was going to also bring up the basketball reference, and I think to a certain degree, American football is also the same. Though having spent many years there, I still do not understand what that sport is about. But because these games, basketball, football, American football, they're very decided, on a drawing board. I mean, a cricket team, a cricket coaching staff can tell you, okay, हम stats देखते हैं, ये नहीं है भैया. Yes, the time duration is there, but it's so, despite being a team sport, it's so one-on-one, right? Whereas football, basketball, they're not one-on-one. Baseball is still a very one-on-one. Any sport where a guy is throwing something at the other guy, that inherently is a one-on-one sport. You can make your plans, but what a Jasprit Bumrah bowls or what a Siraj bowls, that's not what's been discussed there, right? But this in these tactical sports is very important. I think you're right. Basketball is such a drawing board type game because you have certain plays and this is all planned out before, right? So you can match up things. Look, I think captain in any sport is largely overrated. in many sports, you just come there for the toss and you go away. But क्या है कप्तान, right? क्या है? We talk about Rohit Sharma, भाई IPL में 5 टाइटल जीतना और 10 महीने के लिए इंडियन टीम को कैप्टन करने में क्या फर्क है? I think the answer is there for everyone to see, right? But in football, basketball, American football, you need someone who's seeing the game from a different perspective. You know, they have tactics. Had these tactics been so important in cricket or in any other sport, you probably would have had the coach be more important. But like Shane Warne said, the coach is what takes the team from the hotel to the ground. That's my 2 cents on this matter.
Shane Warne. Okay. Abhinav Jha has a very interesting take to me saying that the captain is a respectable and figure position in football. Maguire captain hai. I think the next word is quite self-explanatory. Anu, do you understand the next word?
Thanks to Azim, so I always have to say Hagwire only now. Now, like Maguire to never comes, and I always have Azim in my head going Hagwire.
Yeah, Maguire is a different league of dude. Last, I mean, that was utter basti, man. Like on 4-4-2, Maguire was Azim was like, has Virgil van Dijk reached Maguire levels? I'm like, बहुत ज़्यादा बेइज्जती कर रहे हो यार तुम थोड़ा माना Virgil थोड़ा आजकल डाइव नहीं कर रहा है वो नहीं कर रहा वो सब नहीं कर रहा like he's not putting his body in front of and everything but let's not get him to Maguire levels man Maguire तो मतलब is a league of his own यार he's pulling his own players down and Maguire is Maguire for a reason. Yeah.
But Azim lost it also with Mbappe and this whole shift. Like, what is the scoop on that? Do you also think he's an entitled Gen Zer who's just greedy for money and who's padded up by stats and not as as much of the shiz as he thinks he is?
See, he's a great player. Nobody's debating that. He's a great player, but you know how it is, man. Even in in comedy or anywhere, in celebrity management, everywhere, if people are just sucking up to you, there's no end to how much people can feed into your ego and make you feel like you are the king of the world. तो उसको PSG डील्स ही ऐसा देगा कि भाई तेरे को हम काम करते हैं अपना शहर ही तेरे को बेच देंगे हम तेरे को पूरा एक देश का किंग बना दे तो उसको तो it's just feeding into the ego and all. So I mean, yeah, obviously it's getting into his head and it's going crazy, but he is a good player. Like that's undeniable, and I'm not even going to entertain the Mbappe to Liverpool kind of rumors. That's never going to happen. अपनी उतनी औकात ही नहीं है. वो होने ही नहीं वाला
But is it
तो
because he wanted to be the bigger and ever since Messi came to PSG, suddenly like like you feel like a bit unsettled and therefore you want to be big daddy. There's like so many egos at play also, no? Even if you're 23 doesn't mean you can't have an ego.
definitely a lot of ego at play. I don't know if competing with Messi, I don't know what is going to happen. I'm just tired of Mbappe as a topic as a thing because yeah, it's a pain point also because for like 2 years Liverpool people were told that Mbappe आएगा and then everybody was like lol तुम्हारे पास पैसा कहाँ है बे गरीब. So yeah, in general I just yeah, I don't get it. So बस यही है. Jamie, you're saying something?
But PSG have also been accused, sorry, of having created these armies of like fake Twitter accounts to attack him and stuff like that, which of course they
No, that's all of
vehemently
these.
denied.
That's
But
all of these. That's all of these Gulf funny people do that. PSG भी करता है. Manchester City के भी बहुत सारे fake accounts, bots accounts है क्योंकि पैसा इनके पास है और fans with all due respect global fans तो उतने नहीं है. So it's just like these guys have like the bots and all. It's just the अपने country के वो लोग जो support कर रहे हैं वो भी कर रहे हैं. But honestly speaking, how many people do you think in Manchester are also supporting Manchester City versus the United? So these guys, yeah, they have these fake accounts and everything, and people obviously want to like. Mbappe is an entitled brat. There's no denying that, but he's a good player also. So yeah, I mean, if people feed into the ego and people are like, "Arey, everything," then you just can't have it to an endless level. Yeah, sorry, Jamie.
No, I was just asking, I mean, is there any other sport which feeds in and which supports this ecosystem, this superstar mentality than football? Because I'm not even going to go to cricket. I think the tantrums that our guys throw pale in comparison to what you get to hear about from the football players. Maybe the baseball players come second, but you see, so just picking up what you guys are talking about, I've always wondered, यार इतना चौड़ा क्यों होते ये लोग? Yes, तुम्हारा sport में बहुत talent चाहिए, but the money they earn, the pampering, and apparently I've heard from reporters who cover the sport, at least in the UK, इनके नखरे बहुत होते हैं. Is there any other sport that pampers the players as much as football? I don't think so.
in general, see, like comparing a cricket with football would be very tough, because cricket in general is a, I mean, at least for the other nations, it's a gentleman's sport. Like Anu also in the last stream, she was pointing out, like in the Queen's honor, they had cancelled the football matches. But the cricket matches were still on. Like nobody talked about cancelling those matches and all, because it just assumed that, either aenge, all the elite people will come for the cricket matches, and football, it's like the hooligans and everything. So football is a very streetwise kind of a of sport. So maybe because most of these guys are also not like, I mean, in India it's a different story with cricket, but football, it's just regular guys who are coming up and becoming stars. And you know how it is when anybody from regular person becomes a huge star. Things can clearly go to their head and they can go crazy. Like the chances are just there. So abhi to फिर भी social
Like if
media hai, to
Hardik
cover.
Pandya was a footballer, can you imagine?
Right.
Yeah, pulling his father-in-law's shirt and all. But like,
I must
but
tell you, off topic, weirdly, I saw some video of his where he's playing with his son and like teaching him some cricket or something. And in his house, his couch and my couch are the same, except like the colors are different. And I was like, oh my god, do Hardik Pandya and I have the same taste? It's really messed with my head now.
this is not in a good way, you're saying, right? I mean, I'm just
I was
not
like,
able
I
to
know I
understand.
marry the Gujarati, but still.
But yeah, I mean, if you think about from the wife's perspective, maybe it's like the wives also made a similar choice, and she's also married a Gujarati. So maybe she and your taste might be similar. I don't know where I'm going with this, but anyway, I'll
Yeah.
just I'll just need a good CM in Liverpool, but what a win at last. Absolutely, वो तो पता ही है कि मतलब मिडफील्ड में हमें वो लिवरपूल को reinforcements चाहिए ही होगा, but जब तक हेंडरसन शायद इंजर्ड हो गया ना कल के मैच में. आई मीन, आई कांट बिलीव आई एम सेइंग दिस विद अ glee in my tone, but yeah, it's fine. And Gomez was fine and right back also, so it's not a bad thing as it gets. Okay, I guess anything else, Anu, you want to add to that apart from Hardik
No,
Pandya's
isn't the
house color?
Manchester United? No, nothing about Hardik. His couch is black minus turquoise blue. Chalo. Huh.
Hmm.
I like the turquoise blue much better than black.
Thank. He's saying this after he's wearing black caps. I'm just
Black
saying, and a black T-shirt.
shirt, black cap, black watch. ठीक है यार.
Have we got to 200 likes, Abijit? Because now
Have
we
we-
have to speak to Kane. Huh?
Have we got to 200 likes, guys? Come on, we are just some likes away from 200 likes. We are on 198, guys. Come on, guys. Let's get to 225 likes. Let's get to 225 likes, and the moment we get to 225 likes, come on,
Azharuddin
guys.
got run out, no, on 199 in a test match. Did he not?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Yes, he did.
see?
230 people watching this. Let's have 225 likes. Come on, guys. I mean, there are definitely some of you guys, that you haven't liked this. Smash that like button, guys. कुछ नहीं जाता ऐसा, like, unless you have already liked it, in which case do not smash it, because then it will unlike हो जाएगा. So smash that like button. उसके बाद तीनों चीजें होगी. What are the three tasks that will happen? First, Jamie will upcast me in Hindi. Then he will say something in Bengali to me. Then what is the third one? Kane Williamson.
Kane Williamson.
Opinion towards Ben Stokes. I'm so sorry, Jamie, for putting you in this spot. Suddenly लगा अरे यार sports की बात करते करते ये roadies क्यों हो गया, ये task क्यों आ गया अचानक से.
I walked into it also myself.
Then,
ठीक है.
what was your opinion on poor Mr. Kapil Dev's remarks that took the country by storm? Are you divided? Which side of the which side of the coin are you sympathizing with? Whatever the
What did
expression
Kapil
is.
Dev say? I didn't hear about this. What is
There was
this?
that huge thing now where he said there's nothing like pressure. Where have you been living? Under a rock, Abhijit. This is what happens when you watch too much squash. You know?
Watch.
It's US Open, guys. I'm watching like unreasonable number of squash. Like Nidhi is also angry with me because at night also I'm just like waiting for this highlights to get uploaded. Wood शायद अभी semi-finals ही cover करता है, तो उससे पहले मेरे को बस stream beam करके, which I'm not advocating by the way, but मुझे कुछ जुगाड़ लगा के देखना पड़ता है, and I have to wait for the highlights and everything. But yeah.
See,
So
Jamesh and I do not feel any sympathy for you, just to let you know, okay?
There's only one
So
US
anyway,
Open
watch the
ever.
video later. watch the video later, but essentially he has said that there's nothing like pressure. And when people say that, mujhe cricket nahi khelna hai because there's so much pressure in cricket in the IPL, he'll say, my answer to you is don't play the IPL then. If you play with pleasure, there is nothing called pressure. And all these are Americanized terms like depression and things like that. They do not exist. And therefore, when people say, then kids say that they're pressured, I do not understand it because they all study in AC classrooms. No one can touch a child today. I used to get beaten up just for fun. So this does not make any sense. Now, to be fair, also, and I know everyone's come down on him like a ton of bricks. To be fair, he comes also from a generation where they did not believe in, there was no sports psychologists or like mental illness, or there's nothing like that. And it's like today, like till today, kids are told, right, grow up, just grow up, stop crying like a girl. You're told all these things as boys. So the fact is that you believe if something doesn't exist, it's not there, or if it just hasn't happened to you, it's not there. And whatever said and done in 83, yes, we changed the face of Indian cricket, but also did it with no expectations going in against the Goliath that was the West Indies. Right. So it was also at some level West Indian hubris, and we got a bit lucky. And when we came back to defend that title and played with expectation riding on us, we didn't do very well. Right. So whatever said and done, we can't like shit on the guy because he comes
Yeah,
from
man.
a different time.
I'm just tired of like Kapil Dev का तो ये बोला अब like Mukesh Khanna is one person जो हर 6 महीने में ना he will say something and everybody outrages और अरे मुकेश खन्ना ने ये बोल दिया अरे मुकेश खन्ना ये नहीं बोलेगा तो क्या बोलेगा यार like when are we gonna finally accept that okay Mukesh Khanna's opinions are those like कितना और outrage करे यार like this guys okay they have that opinion they are from a different era उनका वो है ठीक है obviously they are speaking from what they think is that and I'm just tired of outraging fine yeah obviously a lot of that does not make sense and everything but yeah this endless outrage I can't like just do this all over again time in again this sentence should end but yeah Jamie
are you ready Jamesh, are you ready?
I'm ready. I was going to tell a little Kapil Dev anecdote just to keep on the topic of Kapil Dev, but something which actually encompasses what the man is. Very briefly, many years ago, he was coach of the team. A certain fast bowler came to practice, and he took the ball, and he realized he was not wearing his underwear underneath his track pants. So he said, "Paji, problem ho gaya." And obviously the guy is shit scared. Kapil Dev kya bolega? And I'm going to paraphrase here, कोई problem नहीं है, जितना खुला feel होगा, उतना अच्छा bowling होगा. So that's Kapil Dev's mentality. Let's just appreciate what he did for all these years with that chilled out mentality. आजकल बोलेगा तो बोलेगा. Like you said, it's like we're waiting with our phones. अरे किसने गन फुलाया? आज हम उसकी मारेंगे. छोड़ो यार.
Man, it's just tiring how much of outrage and how like I don't know how much we should talk about that dude only, but some certain guy on Twitter was about how the word batsman is offensive, is very offensive, and I get it. Like if there's a women's cricket is going on, obviously you will not call them batsmen because okay fine I get that if you don't want to call them like they should not be called batsmen because they are not men, but they're like the word batsman only is offensive now. Like even like when when the like men's cricket is playing if you're not saying the word batter then you should be cancelled and you should like it's preposterous that you are using the word batsman. ये थोड़ा ज्यादा हो गया यार मतलब अब ये मतलब बिकॉज स्पेशली अगर किसी को आदत है बैट्समैन बोलने की अब बहुत बार टाइम भी तो लगता है यार सीखने में अचानक से मेमो मिलता नहीं है ना सबको साथ में थोड़ा ना पहुंच जाता है कि कल से तुम्हें ये बोलना है सो I don't what do you feel about this Anu like how much is it
I just feel like we'll come to a point where we've cancelled everything. There'll be nothing left to cancel, and then we'll have to find something else to do. Like, how many things can you cancel? You can't pick something that someone said in 1925 and say, "Oh my God, that was terrible." Yeah, but it was also 1925. No, if you're looking at 1925 from 2022 lens, obviously it's incorrect. That's evolution, and that's how things change and improve.
More Joshi has given a great point. Not just depression. Yeah, this is.
बहुत सारी What's it?
Kapil Dev very sweetly once said, in school, he used to play football. And so, like, if you played sports, you didn't have to attend classes. And he said the only reason he started cricket was cricket used to, you could be away the whole day. Football was time constraints, no, only 45 minutes a half. So he's like, with cricket, I could be out all day. That's why I started playing, just to bunk class, not for the love of the sport.
तो यार इतने सारे हमारे लाइफ डिसीजंस इसी बेसिस पे होते हैं कि लाइक फॉर इंस्टेंस मैं भी लाइक अपने मतलब मेरे को लाइक ड्यूरिंग कॉलेज आई हैड टू बी लाइक मेरे को कोई लैंग्वेज सीखना है एंड जर्मन मैंने सीखा क्योंकि जर्मन मेरे साइड में था, इंस्टीट्यूट पास में था, सो मोस्ट ऑफ आवर लाइक एंड some people I know also took that decision just on basis of that, and right now they're in Germany like working and all. So life decisions are being based on on the basis of ki kya convenient hai kya nahi hai, and then suddenly where things take you. But yeah, people are reminding us this is a sports show, guys, so don't talk about cancel culture. But what do you feel about the whole batsman thing? Is it a paid point at all, or is it you guys is it, or it doesn't bother you guys at all?
I mean, look, I think like a lot of things in recent years, things which have been acceptable for decades are all of a sudden problematic, you know. And I'm saying if you're going to change one term, then you're opening yourself up to change so many terms, right? Do you want to go? I just think, frankly, and this is just my view here, a lot was made out of something which actually was not that problematic. That's my view on it.
Anu, batsman bothers you? Nah.
No, like I'm with you. Like it'll take a while to say batter, and that's fine. It's just like even today you can't say actress, it's supposed to be actor only. So like female actor. So I'm saying that's fine. You've changed it, but just give us like a week or so to get used to it. And if by mistake it's like a slip of the tongue, do not vilify us, right? Like I don't deserve like a jail term because I've suddenly had to change a word I've been using since the late 80s. So
and also on the same thing, you speak to female journalists in this line. Speak to women's cricketers. They're actually not that bothered. So where has this come? Is this a social media thing? That's my thing.
Most of those things are never the people concerning them. It doesn't bother them. Somebody suddenly on internet and Twitter decides ki ये bothersome है, ये problematic. The word problematic is itself so problematic. Like मेरे को problematic word से इतना डर लगता है ना अब तो. But yes. Change Studio saying gluten tag, Abhijit. I think you mean to say guten tag, which is good day.
Guten tag.
Yeah, it is gluten tag. ऐसा gluten तो खाना होता है जो avoid करने पे पतले हो जाते हो.
So Weetabix gluten tag. I think Novak Djokovic should be in that ad. Novak Djokovic is thopra and then gluten tag.
Yeah. CFC Blues getting another term, normalize. Oh, normalize is such a it's such an irritating term. Normalize this, normalize that. It should be normalized. Arey yaar, kya matlab, some of the things that you see here is just weird. But Change Studios is now saying wo autocorrect ho gaya. Fair enough. It's okay. It's absolutely fine. Cool.
That's what Suresh Raina said also, I think.
Yeah, I think we have discussed all the sports that we had to discuss, and we have discussed about cancelling as well. We went took out different things. I guess we have achieved have we achieved did we get the target that we had set out? 223 pair, two more people, and then one cuss word from Jamie, or Jamie's choice. You can do a Hindi cuss word, you can do a Bengali cuss word, to me of course, never to Anu, and or third you can do Kane Williamson viewpoint opinion towards Ben Stokes right after 2019 World Cup. So either of the three, the moment we get to 225,
which is basically 1 and 3 is the same thing, right?
1, 2, 3 में कोई भी
1 हिंदी गाली और 3 Ben Stokes के साथ में गुस्सा एक ही है ना.
Yeah, fair enough. Yes, absolutely. 1 and 3 are the same thing. Have we gotten to that? Come on, guys. What is wrong with you? Yes, we have managed it. So, guys, more people can continue liking it, of course. But come on, Jamie. Let's get the task going.
तो बोलो मैं क्या बोलूं?
What? I don't know either of the three. This is so weird.
I can do a very, very bad Kiwi accent saying Ben Stokes, which could sound like a guy in Gurgaon outside a daru shop with pan in his mouth saying the first one. तो वो हो जाएगा वो.
Well,
You,
I don't. I almost don't want you to do the third one because I feel that you get stereotyped enough for it. Like there are enough people wanting to you to
remember
do
that
it. So
match? There was a test match, I think a test match between Australia and New Zealand. In New Zealand, Ross Taylor standing at slips, and the batsman edges past. And what does Ross Taylor say? And the cap like Ross Taylor, Kiwi, India is not playing that match, but because of all his IPL experience, he's like, and this is the power of the IPL, yaar. UCB uniting everyone.
this is the power of
Ross
Indian.
Taylor's
Indian
retirement fund and bad language.
He's playing that league also, the legend leagues which we're all talking about. But हाँ,
He's a
अगर
leg-
मुझे कुछ बोलना है, यहाँ पे गाली वाली बोलने से वो एल्गो थोड़ा आउट ऑफ वैक नहीं जाएगा ना? वो होता है कभी-कभी.
ये होता है क्या? नहीं नहीं, वो बहुत हाई रीचिंग एल्गो स्ट्रीम्स पे होता होगा. इस स्ट्रीम पे अभी वो वाली दिक्कत नहीं आई है. वंस वी आर एट दैट प्रॉब्लम वी विल लेट यू नो. अदरवाइज अभी तो चलेगा. Like, or you can, yeah. I mean, completely no pressure, by the way.
I mean, I can be a very, very sad,
You know what I can
dejected
do?
ah,
I just realized I can do a poll also. I can make the audience choose because Neville taught us this also last time that you guys should do polls. So I will do a
I
poll,
think-
and on the
I
poll I
mean,
will ask
I
that.
would imagine that Kane Williamson, being this gentleman, this good guy, probably controlled his tears on seeing Ben Stokes do it. But at some point, he would have been, oh, Ben, shut.
Okay. I guess the poll is pointless now because Jamie has done it. Let's have a Jamie Otto OP. Let's have
बाकी
a.
और सब शुद्ध नॉर्थ इंडियन गाली वो तो फिर हो सकता है, बट आपके व्यूअर्स के लिए वो ठीक है कि नहीं, मैं वो सोच रहा हूँ.
Ajinkya Atsul says, going to DM Bhava that Ganguly seek. Yeah, we are learning. We are, me and Anu, both belonging to communist states. We are trying to be capitalists as much as possible. We are trying to learn the tricks of the trade. But I guess we have, with that, we have come to the end of the show. I think nothing can top what Jamie just sweetly addressed me. So I guess we have come, we have come to the sweet ending of the show. Any last anything that Jamie you want to talk about? Any work of yours that's coming out? Anything that you want to talk about? Or yeah,
I mean, a lot of things happening, but I'm saying I'd rather just say thank you for having me on the show. It's been a total blast. Good to meet Anu finally. E-meet at least. Abijit, you and I have done several shows together. Yeah, I mean, you can follow me on Glance. I do a show every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll be doing World Cup shows. I've got a couple other things lined up, but until they're inked, I don't want to jinx them because I have a habit of shooting off my mouth. अरे अपन ने ये sign करने वाला है यार, कभी होता नहीं है. Then you're like, अरे यार, so. But yeah, you can follow me on YouTube and on Glance every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
do that.
But thank you. It was so lovely to meet you, Jamesh, and it was such a great learning as well. I mean, I'm here just for the guests, not for Abhijit, as everyone knows. But no, it was just a really interesting, fun chit chat and also educational. See, Abhijit, you always get people who educate us, na? In tech or cricket
Yeah,
or life.
yeah. Hernia stories. So
That tag has actually never been attached to me in any public forum. So thank you, Anu. Me being educational and informative. Thank you. Thank you.
all right, guys. Everybody who came, everybody was watching. Thanks for the super chats who gave, and thanks for people who were commenting. See you guys in the next stream. We'll be back soon. Thanks, guys. See you guys when we see each other. Bye, Anu. Bye, Jamie.
Bye bye.
Bye.